Hello, BookTube. I've got a little mail for you today on a bright, sunny Wednesday that is going to cloud over. It is going to become obscured. All morning long it has not been. All morning long it has been bright blue skies, sunny, fluffy white clouds. Temperatures creeping up, definitely creeping up. And that's going to continue for the rest of this week, all of the weekend, and as far as I can tell, all of next week. No one's calling it yet. No actual meteorologists are calling it next. But I think that next week looks likely in New England, Boston, to be another 5 or 6 day long heat wave with temperatures at 90 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. For technically the heat wave is 3 days, but we just had one that was 6 days, and I'm thinking we're gearing up for one of those again in early August. So, but between then and now, the rumored storm system. That has people talking about how much rain will we get, how much thunder might we have, should there be a thunderstorm warning or a thunderstorm watch or whatnot. It's not going to rain at all, but it is going to cloud over. Not a drop of rain, not even dew is falling. It's so dry here, but it at least won't be bright and blue skied for the next couple of days. But still nice, especially in fresh memory of the baking pan furnace that was last week, where it wasn't really possible to do anything. I mean, if it's a normal summer day, where the day starts off in the mid-60s Fahrenheit or the high 60s Fahrenheit, and the day is going to go up to 80 or 82 or 83, with normal humidity, somewhere between 40% and 65%, a day like that, it's going to be warm, sure, but it's summer, you expect warm heat, and you can do stuff on a day like that. You can make plans. But if the morning temperature is 85 degrees Fahrenheit and the day is going to be 105 degrees Fahrenheit with 85% humidity, that's killing weather. That's deadly. You might be lucky or young or very healthy or very hardy and go out in that kind of weather, do all sorts of things, come home, take a shower, sit in air conditioning and say, it's overrated. But it's not. That kind of weather can kill people. So it looks like this is a small trough between two long stretches of that kind of weather. So I took advantage of it. But I have some mail for you. I have a couple of pieces of mail and a couple of pieces of periodicals. The periodicals are two of the newspapers that I get in the mail. The Bedford Times Press in Taylor County in Bedford, Iowa, which has farm reports, of course. Oh, how wonderful. Look at that. Look at that, just resting in her arms like that. How wonderful. But it also has my book column. I do a book column for the Bedford Times Press every week. Nice long thing where I just ruminate about whatever book subject is on my mind. I want to stress, as I do every time, that I love finding new venues for my book column. It comes out once a week. If you have a local newspaper, a local library periodical, something like that you think could use a little jazzing up and you've got the room, I think you'll find my rates very reasonable. So feel free, if you go to Little League with the editor of your local newspaper, feel free to let them know. And then the other newspaper that I am intimately connected with is the Martha's Vineyard Gazette. Big broadsheet newspaper. There you have kids jumping off a bridge in order to beat the heat. Where is this? This is Big Bridge. The end, as the July heat wave ends. So those of you who are not immediately picturing a scene from Jaws, good for you. But the Vineyard Gazette is touching to me as well. I mean, the Bedford Times Press is great because it has my column, and I love being a book columnist all over again after so long a time. And having it happen in small town Iowa, which is a venue that I love. I love small town Iowa. If you are in small town Iowa and you've got a local newspaper, especially feel free to email me. But the Vineyard Gazette it's a big old style newspaper from the island of Martha's Vineyard off the coast of Massachusetts, which is an island that I know extremely well. I've been there many, 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 many times. And I go back a long way with the Vineyard Gazette. Of course, if you spend any time on the Vineyard, you, of course, will read the Vineyard Gazette when you're there. So to be their book reviewer is great. It's just great fun. I don't have a book review in this issue, but I will. I will, definitely. And then we have the packages. One package and one box. Sorry about the background humming. I don't know if you can hear it. Usually the microphone is pretty good at discriminating, and so you don't usually hear much background noise, except sirens that are pitched so high that you can't avoid them. Okay. Okay, I don't have a pub sheet for this thing. Very pretty thing. This is The Comforts of the Abyss by Philip Schultz, who is, I'm told, the winner of the Pulitzer Prize. This is the art of persona writing. Comforts of the Abyss. So let's read The Dust Jacket as if we were together in a bookstore and see what we make of it. Throughout his growth as a writer, acclaimed poet Philip Schultz has battled with the dark voice in his head, the shitbird, as his late friend, the poet Ralph Dickey, termed it, that whispers his insecurities and questions his ability to create. Why not evict such a creature? Well, that is so weird. Why would you allow that thing to exist in your head? Persona writing, a method of borrowing the voice and temperament of accomplished writers, offers him imaginative distance and perspective on his own negative inclinations. Or instead of adopting a whole method of writing, you could get rid of those negative inclinations or control them like an adult. God help us. In this candid and generous book, Schultz reflects on his early life as in an immigrant neighborhood of upstate New York, his first writing experiments inspired by Ernest Hemingway and John Keats, his struggles with dyslexia, and the failures he witnessed in his father's life and his own. Through surprising, sometimes humorous, and encouraging encounters with the writers who influenced him, including Elizabeth Bishop, Joan Didion, and Norman Mailer, as well as moving experiences of loss, he learns how to fashion a personas out of pain. Well, doesn't he sound like he's fun at parties? But it's a writing book, and it sounds like it's different from the run-of-the-mill writing book. I don't have any kind of sheet on it. I'm assuming that it's out now or is coming out next Tuesday, August. But I'll look it up as soon as I finish the video. That's great, though. Always up for a writing book. Taught writing for a long time and have been urged by many, many, many of you to resume my AuthorTube videos about writing. Probably more than almost any other feature on this channel that I have been urged to do that by people saying they really enjoyed them, found them really helpful, and would like to have them back. I'm just noticing behind me empty shelves here in the little book room. Yes, indeed. Empty shelves and more to come. I am doing a reorganizing of books, and I realized that a lot of the books in the little book room had been shelved here willy-nilly and need to be removed. And there are a lot of empty shelves all over Hyde Cottage. So let's see what this box is. Hoping that you can hear me, even if it means that you hear the sirens in the background. Some new people have been emailing me and asking, why on earth are there always sirens in the background? I live in a war zone. I live only one town away from invaders. So I wish that it weren't true. Wish that I lived on a nice, quiet street. Frida and I walk on nice, quiet streets all the time. But we don't live there. Let's see here. What is this one? Oh, okay. All right. This is a finished copy. That's what I thought. This is a finished copy that's getting me laughably, hideously late. I don't know why. No idea. This is from the folks at W.W. Norton, and somebody there just skipped me in the roster list. This is The Immortal King Rao by Vaunini Vara, and it is an early May release, so it is almost half a year late getting to me. But at least now I have the finished copy. This is a novel. I've already read it. I thought it was very good. We begin in a hot, wet nothing of a village in 1950s caste-conscious India, where the future King Rao is born to a family of Dalit coconut farmers, initially unwanted and, for the first days of his life, nameless. But with the turn of a page, we are thrust decades into the future, joining King's daughter in jail as she awaits judgment at the hands of an algorithm that, in the new age of global, corporatized shareholder government, seems to call all the shots. How did King Rao go from the humble son of backwater Kothapalli to the high-flying CEO of the very tech company that brought shareholder government into being? And then it goes on with a doctoral dissertation in the back, but I'm not going to read you. I thought it was fairly good. The world building is sort of, you're going to be able to predict this coming, but the world building was sort of slight and very much wrong. Very much wrong. I know it's tempting and trendy in view of the gig economy and everyone having ATM cards on them all the time to think of the shareholder government concept as the thing that's coming. That the future will be new is always tempting. It's always just a very lazy way to look at the future, that it will be new. Come up with something new. And that's not the case. The future is wall-to-wall authoritarian dictatorships. The pattern in human civilization for 99.9% of human civilization. It's only the conceit of writers, living in the lap of luxury in Williamsburg to think that the future will be new, shiny. But as an exercise in trying to summon that future and flesh it out, I thought parts of this were really good. The world building parts are not the really important parts, thankfully, and they're not the parts that are well done. I recommend the book. If it's at your library, definitely a night's reading that you'll enjoy. So that's it. That is the mail. A finished copy that comes to me months and months and months too late. And a new kind of writing book that sounds like the best case scenario is that this is a very heartfelt memoir that doubles also as a writing tutorial. And the worst case scenario is that this is just a manual on how to write navel-gazing, self-absorbed autofiction. Maybe not. Maybe it concerns itself with memoirs. That would be great. I won't read. I'm not going to reread The Immortal King Rao, but I'll read Comforts of the Abyss tonight and see what it has to tell me. See what kind of a book it is. So there you go. Plus periodicals. That's the mail for today. 2 books. Maybe more is coming. It's still bright and sunny here, but it is going to get overcast, and the temperature is going to go up, and so is the humidity. So I don't know how habitable the rest of the week will be. We shall have to see. But more mail means more videos. If I get more, I will show it to you. In the meantime, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.